Very good evening. You're watching NewsX and I'm Shivani Singh. In the dynamic world of Maharashtra politics, few families command as much influence as the Pawars. Today, on January 31st, 2026, a new chapter unfolds in that legacy. Sunetra Pawar, the widow of the late Ajit Pawar, has been sworn in as the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. She in fact will be sworn in at 5 p.m. This will make her the first woman ever to hold this prestigious post in the state's history. This moment is not just a personal triumph, it's a milestone for gender representation in one of India's most politically vibrant states. Hello and welcome to Deep Dive by NewsX with me Shivani Singh. Today we take a look at Sunetra Pawar and her journey in politics. Born on October 18, 1963 in Osmanabad, Maharashtra, Sunetra Pawar, and she was earlier known as Sunetra Patil, grew up in a family steeped in public service. Her father, Padam Singh Patil, was a respected figure, a former minister in the Maharashtra government and a Lok Sabha MP as well. Politics was not distant. It was part of her upbringing. She married Ajit Pawar, nephew of veteran leader Sharad Pawar, in a union that blended two powerful political lineages. For decades, Sunetra remained a pillar of support behind the scenes, known affectionately as the Vahini in Maharashtra. She focused on social work, agriculture and community initiatives in Baramati, the Pawar family's stronghold. She nurtured grassroots connections, helped manage cooperative institutions and stood by her husband as he rose to become one of the state's most powerful figures, serving multiple times as the Deputy Chief Minister, Water Resources Minister and the leader of the Nationalist Congress Party faction. Now, Sunetra's transition to the frontline politics came relatively late but decisively in 2024. Amid the high-stakes Lok Sabha elections, she contested the prestigious Baramati seat, a constituency long dominated by the Pawar family. Fielded by her husband's NCP against her sister-in-law Supriya Sule from the rival NCP-SP faction. The contest was intense and symbolic of the Pawar family split. Though she faced defeat, the campaign thrust her into the public eye. It showcased her resilience, organizational skills and deep ties to rural voters. Soon after, in June 2024, she was elected unopposed to the Rajya Sabha, representing Maharashtra and the NCP. As an MP, she began contributing to national debates on agriculture, women's issues and rural development, building on her lifelong work in social causes. Her Rajya Sabha role gave her a national platform, but few could have predicted how swiftly events would propel her further. Tragedy struck on January 28, 2026, when Ajit Pawar died in a devastating plane crash in Baramati. The loss sent shockwaves through Maharashtra's political landscape. Ajit had been Deputy Chief Minister in the Mahayuti government led by Devendra Fadnavis, commanding immense influence over party machinery, cooperatives and key portfolios. Within hours, NCP leaders including Praful Patel, Chhagan Bhujbal and Sunil Tatkare rallied to ensure continuity. They turned to Sunetra as the natural successor, a figure of stability, legacy and trust. Senior leaders met her to offer condolences and urged her to step forward. She accepted the responsibility and is now set to be Maharashtra's first Deputy Chief Minister as a woman. On January 31st, 2026, after an NCP legislative party meeting, Sunetra Pawar got elected as Deputy Chief Minister for the Deputy Chief Minister's post, and she is set to serve alongside Eknath Shinde under Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. She is set to retain key portfolios like excise and sports, while transition maintains the alliance's balance. At 62, she becomes Maharashtra's first woman Deputy Chief Minister, a powerful symbol in a state where women have long played vital but often behind the scenes role. From a supportive partner in the shadows to the forefront of power, Sunetra Pawar's journey reflects determination, family, legacy, and a commitment to public service. In stepping into this role amid grief, she honors her late husband's vision while breaking new ground for women in Indian politics. Maharashtra and India watches as this new era begins. Let me in fact go across to my colleague Shahid Ansari, who is joining us live from the Vidhan Bhavan for more updates on this situation. शाहिद, वहाँ विधान भवन पे अभी क्या स्थिति है? कुछ ही देर में शपथ ग्रहण सेरेमनी हो सकती है।
जी, विधान भवन से फिलहाल सभी लोग जो है निकल चुके हैं और मैं इस वक्त राजभवन के पास मौजूद हूँ, क्योंकि जो शपथ विधि है वो राजभवन में होगी। एनसीपी के सारे लीडर्स जो है यहाँ आ चुके हैं। खुद सुनेत्रा जो पवार है वो यहाँ आ चुकी हैं। उसके साथ साथ राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री, उप मुख्यमंत्री, वो सभी लोग जो है यहाँ मौजूद हैं। अभी कुछ ही देर में जो है राजभवन में जो शपथ विधि है वो शुरू हो जाएगी और महज 10 से 15 मिनट का ये प्रोग्राम होगा और उसके बाद राज्य की जो सत्ता की जो बागडोर है उप मुख्यमंत्री का जो होता है उस पर जो है मुकर्रर कर दी जाएंगी। इस दौरान जो है आपको मैं बता दूं कि उनके परिवार के जो परिवार शरद पवार परिवार है, शरद पवार इसमें नहीं रहेंगे। आमतौर पर किसी भी शपथ में सत्ता और विपक्ष दोनों पार्टियों के लोग रहते हैं, लेकिन शरद पवार चूंकि यहाँ नहीं है और इस पूरे मामले को लेकर जो है उनकी तरफ से पहले ये प्रतिक्रिया आ गई थी कि उन्हें तो पता ही नहीं है कि उप मुख्यमंत्री के पद पर जो है या वो दावेदार हैं या तो उनको नियुक्त किया जा रहा है। कुल मिलाकर ये रहा है कि अजीत पवार के देहांत के बाद, दिवंगत अजीत पवार के देहांत के बाद जो है इस पूरे मामले में जो बिना देर किए राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री ने इनके प्रस्ताव को जो है ना सिर्फ पास किया बल्कि उनकी रजामंदी आगे की जो रही है वो भी उन्होंने उसको लेकर भी जो है ये स्वीकार किया। यही वजह है कि जो एनसीपी शरद अजीत पवार ग्रुप के लोग हैं वो सारे लीडर जो है इसमें सर्वसहमति से उन्होंने जो है अजीत पवार की जो है दिवंगत अजीत पवार की जो पत्नी है सुनेत्रा पवार, उनको जो है नियुक्त करने का पहले फैसला किया। पहले ये सारी बातचीत हो चुकी थी। उसके बाद छगन भुजबल समेत जो है कई लोग इसको लेकर राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री से भी मुलाकात किए। आज 2 बजे के आसपास जो है इस पूरे मामले को लेकर जो है बैठक हुई और वो सारी प्रक्रिया पूरी की गई। विधायक दल के नेता के तौर पर जो है उनको चुना गया। चूँकि एनसीपी ने पहले ही स्पष्ट कर दिया था कि राज्य के जो है उप मुख्यमंत्री के बागडोर उसी के हाथ में होगी जो विधायक दल के नेता हो। तो इनडायरेक्टली यही रहा कि अजीत पवार नहीं है, लेकिन विधायक दल की नेता पहले अजीत पवार की पत्नी को बनाया गया। फिर उसके बाद जो है उनको उस ओहदे पर जो है मुकर्रर करने का जो है प्रस्ताव और प्रक्रिया वो पूरी की गई। यही वजह है कि विधान भवन से निकलने के बाद सभी लोग, सारे लीडर्स जो है राजभवन आए और उसके बाद यहाँ वो सारी प्रक्रिया शुरू हो रही है। जी
बिल्कुल, शायद हमारे साथ बने रहे। इनफैक्ट वी हैव दोज लाइव विजुअल्स कमिंग इन फ्रॉम द राज भवन वेयर सुनेत्रा पवार हैज इन फैक्ट टेकन टू द स्टेज। लेट्स कट अक्रॉस।
मी सुनेत्रा अजित पवार गांभीर्यपूर्वक प्रतिज्ञा करते की कायद्याद्वारे स्थापित झाले आहे अशा भारताच्या संविधानाबद्दल मी खरी श्रद्धा व निष्ठा बाळगीन। मी भारताची सार्वभौमता व एकात्मता उन्नत राखीन। मी महाराष्ट्र राज्याची उपमुख्यमंत्री म्हणून माझी कामे निष्ठापूर्वक व ससद्विवेक बुद्धीने पार पाडेन आणि संविधान व कायदा यानुसार सर्व तऱ्हेच्या लोकांना मी गांभीर्यपणे व निपक्षपातीपणे तसेच कोणाच्याही विषयी ममत्वभाव किंवा आकस न बाळगता न्याय वागणूक देईन। मी सुनेत्रा अजित पवार गांभीर्यपूर्वक प्रतिज्ञा करते की महाराष्ट्र राज्याची उपमुख्यमंत्री म्हणून माझ्या विचारार्थ आणली जाईल किंवा मला ज्ञात होईल अशी कोणतीही बाब अशी उपमुख्यमंत्री म्हणून माझी कामे यथायोग्य पार पाडण्यासाठी आवश्यक असेल ते खेरीज करून एरवी मी कोणत्याही व्यक्तीला किंवा व्यक्तींना प्रत्यक्षपणे वा अप्रत्यक्षपणे कळवणार नाही किंवा त्यांच्याकडे उघड करणार नाही।
All right, so there you have it, those historic visuals coming in from the Raj Bhavan in Mumbai. We have Sunetra Pawar. She has taken oath as Maharashtra's first women deputy chief minister. We have Eknath Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis also present, apart from Maharashtra governor over there. The oath-taking ceremony finally complete now. Let me in fact go across to my colleague Shahid Ansari, who is live from the Raj Bhavan right now. Shahid, oath-taking ceremony अब समाप्त होने के कगार पे है. सुनीत्रा पवार ने ओथ ले लिया है और जो पूरा फॉर्मल प्रोसीजर था वो अब कंप्लीट हो चुका है. All right. In fact, let me introduce the panelists who are joining us on this discussion today. Kalyani Shankar, political commentator and senior journalist, Advocate Chandni Preeti Shah, political analyst, and Rajalakshmi Joshi, political analyst. Thank you all for joining us on the broadcast for this discussion. Let me in fact first go across to Kalyani Shankar ma'am for this historic moment that has come to pass in Maharashtra's politics, ma'am.
You're asking me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. I think it is a historic moment for Maharashtra at this point of time, though they had a president of India from Maharashtra. So, but this is just within the chief ministers, ministers and others. So, this is the first time a woman has become the deputy chief minister of Maharashtra. It doesn't mean that Maharashtrians do not, respect the women. I used to live in Nagpur. I could go anywhere in the middle of the night also, no problem about law and order, all that. So women are respected, but then it takes long time for them to come to the power. And there are few political families, and then they occupy all the positions. So this is one of those. This is a dynasty. It's one of those. And you can't say that Sunetra had no experience in politics, because she has been at the table all the time, and she's watched a lot of political events from behind the scenes, and she must have learned a lot from Ajit Pawar also. And so this is a very, very, very crucial moment, I would say, and it's very important that she should, whether she becomes successful or not, because in politics one tries to pull down the other, so that there is every need for her to get cooperation. But first of all, she has to get cooperation from Sharad Pawar, who did not attend today's swearing in, because he was not told about her being elected as a deputy chief minister. So she has a lot of work to do in the coming months, and unless she fulfills all those things, then she cannot be a successful deputy chief minister. We have to wait and see how she manages all these things, and take it from there.
Absolutely. In fact, let me also rope in Advocate Chandni Preeti Shah into this discussion. Ma'am, how are you looking at this new development? Obviously, ma'am has raised some very pertinent points. For example, Sharad Pawar not being present for this oath-taking ceremony, because he has reportedly said that he was not informed of this decision. There were also talks of a merger of both the NCP faction on the cards. So looking at those scenarios, her stepping into these massive shoes that have been left behind by Ajit Dada Pawar, ma'am.
So Shivani, yes, it is a historic moment today. Sadly, Ajit Dada Pawar is not between us. But then, in your show itself, day before yesterday, I did say that there are chances that Sunetra Pawar ji might step into his shoes and become the deputy CM of Maharashtra, and it is a moment of pride as well, that she is the first lady deputy CM that Maharashtra will get. Now, apart from that, it's not like Sunetra Pawar does not have any kind of political experience. She is a sitting Rajya Sabha member. She fought Supriya Suleji in Lok Sabha elections 2024. She lost. That's another ball game altogether. But today she has been unanimously selected to be the deputy CM after the sad demise of Ajit Pawar Dada, and with senior leader Chhagan Bhujbal himself vouching for her and naming her, and everybody has supported this decision. So I think this just does not show how committed the party is. It also shows that this party is not greedy for the power. There is no scrum between the party members, and everybody has a unanimous voice. Coming to Sunetra Pawarji, she has a very stable performance experience. She has an administrative maturity. This actually qualifies for what responsibility she has been given right now. Just like Ajit Dada, she will bring, a calm, composed, consensus-driven approach to the governance of Maharashtra. She is also, the chairperson of Baramati Textile Company, and she's also the CEO of Environmental Forum of India. So her overall experience plus her grassroots work that she has done with Ajit Dada, especially in the constituency of Baramati, this all is going to be very, very helpful for her and for the state of Maharashtra. This is a strong signal that Maharashtra values inclusive leadership and institutional experience. She, her reputation for dignified public conduct, that also sets a positive benchmark for political leadership. So I think this is not just a political appointment. This is a governance decision. It is aimed at stability. It is aimed at balance. It is aimed at effective administration, and it is a leadership which is about capability, which is about credibility, and it's not just rhetoric. Now, coming to Mr. Sharad Pawar, I think it is him knowing or him not knowing about it, his statements. I think this is all secondary thing. The main thing is that Sunetra Pawar will actually take forward the dreams and the legacy of Ajit Dada very well. His dream of merging two parties, the coming of both parties, I think nobody better than Sunetra Pawar can do that right now, given the whole situation. And I think, this swearing in of Sunetra ji today, it strengthens Maharashtra leadership with experience and with balance, with responsibility, after the sudden setback due to the unfortunate departure of Ajit Dada that we saw day before yesterday.
Right, right. Also, in fact, let me rope in Rajlakshmi Joshi on this. Ma'am, obviously, we are seeing there is internal consensus regarding Sunetra Pawar taking up this post, taking up the reins of the party. There is also, we are seeing that there is this gender milestone that she has crossed. She is the first woman deputy chief minister of Maharashtra. But apart from this, her journey from starting now seems to be very challenging. Because obviously very big shoes to fill. Ajit Dada Pawar had a very direct, fast forward kind of a style of politics that he used to do, grassroots level, meeting people every day. Obviously nobody is commenting on how well she will be able to manage the portfolio. She comes from a very powerful political legacy, but the challenges are huge.
Yes, definitely. Very firstly, I'm happy that Maharashtra gets a woman deputy chief minister, and yes, she definitely has a huge challenge ahead of her, huge shoes to fill. So, but in spite of all of that, and looking at the kind of a disastrous situation that has befallen her, and yet she has stood strongly. Though I don't think that she was a part of any kind of negotiation, or there wasn't any need for any negotiation, because the legislative party of the NCP of Ajit Pawar ji, they took a unanimous decision, and I think that it was a smart political move, because there was a lot of pressure from the Sharad Pawar side for them to have a merger. But I think that then there would have been a lot of uncertainty about the political future of especially Sunitra Pawar ji and her sons, and also all the other tall leaders of the NCP that had moved away or broken away from the Sharad Pawar faction. So looking at the circumstances, this was a very brave, bold decision to take, especially for her to accept this responsibility, to accept this challenge, because especially people from her own family, that is the Sharad Pawar side, they are talking about how the Ajit Pawar ji had spoken about a merger, etc. So this has, I mean, even before she is taking over the reins of the Deputy Chief Minister, already she comes under fire for all these decisions. But then I think she has taken the right decision, because then otherwise there would have been uncertainty. And I'm sure that looking at her political legacy, she also comes from a political background herself, from a political family herself, and also like it was rightly pointed out by my previous speakers, she is a Rajya Sabha member herself. So, and she had contested the Lok Sabha elections, though yes, she was unsuccessful at it, but then yes, she is not new to politics, and she is somebody who has been extremely active, especially on the environmental front. So she does know all the nitty-gritties of politics. So even though she may not really be all that experienced as much as Ajit Pawar ji, but even then, looking at the current situation, I think that she is doing a fabulous job of looking after her own family, and also of the political party, and also of the reins of the post of the Deputy Chief Minister, which, I mean, she has a threefold of a responsibility to look into. So, and it's also a very good thing that they have kept the family and the politics differently. They have kept it separate. So it was very necessary for them to do that, because otherwise there were a few kind of objections that maybe she did not consult with Sharad Pawar ji before taking this decision, which I don't think that she needs to do, because looking at the political situation, when Ajit Pawar himself had broken away from that fold, when he himself was taking decisions independently, there is no need for his party or his wife to be seeking any kind of permission or any kind of consultation from anyone else. So I think that right from the start, this is a bold and a good decision that has been made by Mrs. Sunitra Pawar. And I wish her all the best, and I hope that this will be a strong feminine figure, because you need a lot of female faces also to say maybe put across all the voices of the women. It's not like men can't take care of it, but then when you have a woman at the front, then there are a lot of things that she can make a huge difference to the entire situation. So she does have huge shoes to fill, but I think that she is definitely going to do a good job, and also she does have good stellar leaders like Praful Patel ji and Chhagan Bhujbal ji, who all stood up very strongly behind her to give her entire full support. So I'm sure that she will definitely do a good job, and my very best wishes to her and to everyone in Maharashtra as well.
Right, ma'am. In fact, let me go across to Kalyani Shankar ma'am on certain aspects to her elevation. Ma'am, when we're looking at this post of the Deputy Chief Minister, Sunitra Pawar had to resign from the post of the member of the Rajya Sabha, and now she has 6 months to get elected to the state legislature. How do you see that happening? And also there is this question of portfolios that is doing the rounds. Obviously huge portfolios, very important portfolios held by Ajit Dada Pawar, finance, excise planning, so how, and sports as well. So how are you looking at these panning out in the future?
Well, the first thing you were talking about is her, where will she get elected from? They have the Baramati, from there it's almost the, it is almost, sorry, it's almost their fifth term, because they have always nurtured the constituency, and actually Ajita would not have been able to go through the entire constituency. It's always the wife who nurtures the constituency in many politicians. So she must have done that also. So it would be, moreover, when the chief minister, deputy chief minister is contesting, everybody else concentrates on that place, and they come there and then they campaign. They do all these things, so it just boosts to the deputy chief minister there. So getting elected is not the biggest problem for her, I think. So she'll come through very easily. And then the second thing, you were talking about the finance and other portfolios. I don't know whether she'll get finance at all. We are talking about other portfolios, but not the finance as yet. But then, Devendra Fadnavis should learn a thing or two from Narendra Modi, Prime Minister, because he had given the finance portfolio to Nirmala Sitharaman, the first ever finance minister, woman finance minister of India. So there is nothing wrong in giving her the finance. It doesn't mean that she will not be able to carry it. And anyway, it's only the budget she has to do. The rest of the thing it will be done by other people also. But she is new to the ministry, and it might take some time for her to learn things on the ropes of the side. She had not been a minister earlier. That is the only thing now. So she will overcome that. I think she looks quite intelligent enough to run the show. Moreover, she has had a good experience in administration also, and she's running some NGOs, all that. So I don't think that it's going to be a big problem for her. But at the same time, she must guard against the enemies coming up, and then enemies will come anyway to anybody, and moreover to a woman. So she must guard against and then take everybody around. That's the only way she could become a successful deputy chief minister. I wish her all success, and I hope she'll do well.
Absolutely. In fact, Advocate Chandni Preeti Shah, do you also believe that there will be an initial hand-holding phase now that she has been elected as the deputy chief minister?
I think I wouldn't say a hand-holding phase. Yes, she will be guided by the senior leaders of the party, of course, because right now, yes, she has taken up the reins in her hand and all, but there is an emotional turmoil that she's been, she'll be going through, and she would need that moral and emotional support from the party members as well. And I think the way she has been selected and elected unanimously, I think that is given that she will be whatever support she needs, whether it is making some decisions or taking any kind of decision which needs the inputs of the party members. I think she will be given that without any doubts. Apart from that, I guess yes, she has to be elected as the MLA or MLC in within the next 6 months. And but the portfolios, I think it has always been the prerogative of the chief minister. But I think she will be allocated the portfolios which were given, which were with Ajit Dada. I think because she has been selected to step into his shoes, to be, to take the responsibilities that Ajit Dada had been taking. So I think, she will be given all those responsibilities, and Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis ji and Deputy CM Eknath Shinde ji, along with the Council of Ministers, will help her and will guide her whenever and wherever necessary.
Absolutely. Raj Lakshmi Joshi, I want to understand your opinion as well on the portfolios, because there are a lot of talks doing around that Sunetra Pawar may only get the sports and the excise portfolios, and Devendra Fadnavis might keep finance with himself. Do you think how important is keeping these three portfolios with the NCP, because this is a triple engine government that we are talking about? They would not want to lose an important portfolio like the finance going over to the BJP, right?
Shivani, I think it's a little too early to speculate about all these things. But the reason I think that the swearing in has happened today, or that they moved in quickly to take over the position of the Deputy Chief Minister, is because they needed the NCP of the Ajit Pawar faction. They needed to show or to display to their own karyakartas that the leadership is strong and that the party is stable and that everything is under control. Otherwise, you can see that in the current political situation, it was very easy for them to maybe get swayed over by the strong figure of Mr. Sharad Pawar. So I think that what they did is they first tried to make sure, ensure that the entire party is under control of one leader, that is the name of Mrs. Sunetra Pawar. And I think that all the other formalities will follow. So this thing, what you're rightly saying is that it's a very crucial portfolio. So I'm sure that the BJP and the NCP, they will iron out all these whatever issues are there, whatever differences of opinions they may have, and whatever will be in the best interests of the people of Maharashtra and of the country, that those decisions will be taken. And so from the point of the NCP, I understand that this is a lot of people were shocked that this has been hardly any time since the passing away of Ajit Pawar ji, and this swearing in is happening today. But this was very much necessary for her personally also to take control of the situation, because very frankly, it was not as if Mr. Sharad Pawar was looking into the interests of either Ajit Pawar or any of his family.
Right.
So from her point of view personally, this was a very crucial decision, and from the position of the political party also, they have come out from under the shadows of Mr. Sharad Pawar. So
Absolutely.
then going back into getting dominated by him and then losing their own position, that will be a very huge risk for them. Some time for these portfolios to be finalized, but I think that this is a quick decision that was crucial.
Absolutely.
And necessary.
I think what matters is this is a very historic day today, and we wish Sunetra Pawar all the best. But thank you, Kalyani Shankar, Advocate Chandni Preeti Shah and Raj Lakshmi Joshi for joining us on the broadcast to discuss this.